Hi, and welcome to this latest immigration law update video. In this video, I'm going to look at the new graduate route, which opens to international students on the 1st of July 2021. So on your screen now, I've shared my screen, and we're going to have a look at the news story. Then we're going to look at the statement of changes and the explanatory memorandum. So this is a new route for international students who want to work in the UK following successful completion of a course of study at UK bachelor's degree level or above. So as you'll see, the graduate route opens from the 1st of July 2021. The international students must have completed a course at a UK higher education provider with a track record of compliance. That's important with the government's immigration requirements to apply to the graduate route. Students under the graduate route can apply for a maximum of 2 years, or if you're a doctoral student, 3 years. And here we go. Open to application from 1st July 2021 to international students who successfully complete a degree at undergraduate level or above in the UK. It is unsponsored, so no need also for a job offer to apply, no minimum salary requirements, no cap on numbers. Graduates on the route will be able to work flexibly, switch jobs and develop their career as required. So a really important development and a good route for students who've graduated in the United Kingdom. There's also coronavirus concessions for those whose studies were disrupted by the COVID lockdown, and there's some dates here. So applicants who began their studies in autumn 2020 will now have until 21st June 2021 to enter the United Kingdom in order to be eligible for the graduate route. Students who began their studies in January or February 2021 will need to be in the UK by 27th of September 2021. So this was announced in the recent statement of changes to the immigration rules. Here's the explanatory memorandum. Actually, before I get to that, let's just show you. So it's statement of changes 1248, and it was laid before Parliament on the 4th of March 2021. As usual, you've got the statement of changes and the explanatory memorandum. I'll put these links below the video. So as I said, let's go to the explanatory memorandum, page 2 of the explanatory memorandum, 7.1 and following. So graduate route was announced on the 11th of September 2019, and there was a fact sheet published on the 14th of October 2019. And again, confirmation that it's for international students successfully completed an eligible course as a student or student sponsor, which is a higher education provider, again, with a track record of compliance. And those who complete courses can have a further 2 years, 3 years if they've got doctorates, and they can work or look for work at any skill level. Applicants must be in the UK with current permission as a student or Tier 4 migrant. And note this, they must not have previously held permission on the doctorate extension scheme or the graduate route. Suitability will apply. You mustn't be in breach of the immigration rules except under the exception for overstayers. Applicants must have successfully completed the course of study undertaken during their most recent grant of permission as a student, and their sponsor must notify the Home Office of this before the application is made. And again, it's got to be at degree level or postgraduate level, or a professional course requiring study at the UK bachelor's degree level or above in a profession with reserved activities that is regulated by UK law or UK public authority. We'll have a look at the table in the rules that deals with that. Study on an eligible course must have taken place in the UK for a minimum period, which is based on the total length of the course. For those who completed a course lasting 12 months or less, the whole course must have been studied in the UK. Those on courses lasting longer than 12 months will need to be being granted permission for at least 12 months on the student route and spent that time studying in the United Kingdom. And then again, the COVID concession is referred to. Applicants will be permitted to work full-time at any skill level. A graduate may switch into a relevant skilled worker route if suitable employment is found and the requirements of the route are met. So switching is permitted. Study will be permitted, provided that it's not study with a student sponsor on a course that would meet the requirements of the student route. So you can't just use it as a student extension, and study is subject to ATAS condition. Notice this: dependent family members will be permitted on the graduate route, provided those family members are in the UK and had last been granted permission as the dependents of the main applicant on the graduate route. So if you're currently a dependent of a Tier 4 student, you can be a dependent under the graduate route, but new dependents are not permitted. So let's finally go to the rules themselves. So as with other changes, what we're seeing is the addition of new appendices to the immigration rules. So we've now got Appendix Graduate, and that's going to come into force at 9 a.m. on the 1st of July 2021. So it says this route is for a student in the UK who wants to work or look for work following the successful completion of an eligible course of study at UK bachelor's degree level or above. The study must have been with a higher education provider with a track record of compliance. We can see that again. It's an unsponsored route. And here's the dependency bit again. Individuals who already have permission as a dependent of a student who is applying on this route can also apply to extend their permission as a dependent on this route. Other types of dependents are not permitted on this route, and the route itself is not a route to settlement. So as usual with these new rules, we've got a validity section. So you've got to pay the fee and apply online on the graduate form. Fee plus health surcharge, must have provided biometrics, provide a passport or other travel document, and must be in the UK. Last had permission as a student, mustn't be under the doctorate extension scheme. If the applicant has in the last 12 months before the date of application been awarded a scholarship or sponsorship by the government, they must provide written consent. And if you don't meet all these validity requirements, it's going to be rejected and not considered. Then we've got the suitability requirement. So part 9, remember, and see my video on the new part 9. Part 9 has been overhauled and changed. So part 9 applies to the graduate route. Mustn't be in breach of immigration laws except paragraph 39E. Which paragraph 39E applies. And note the paragraph 39E has itself been amended, and there's a sort of coronavirus section in there now covering that period. And you mustn't be on immigration bail. It is a points-based requirement, but 70 points means nothing. 70 is the same as the other routes, but effectively the points mean nothing because what you have is these requirements of successful completion requirement, a qualification requirement, and a study in the UK requirement. So here they come. So here's your first one: successful completion requirement. Last been sponsored by a student sponsor, higher education provider, track record of compliance. Successfully completed a course of study during their last grant of permission of study on the student route. So that's important. And then qualification requirement. So it's got to be a bachelor's degree or postgraduate degree or a relevant qualification. Well, the GR 5.2, it's the lawyers and the doctors, I'm afraid. Law conversion course, legal practice course, bar practice course, foundation in medicine or dentistry. PGCE is covered. And then a professional course requiring study at UK bachelor's degree level or above in a profession with reserved activities that is regulated by UK law or UK public authority. And then let's go down to the study in the UK requirement. Applicant must have studied in the UK for a minimum period of the course for which they were last granted permission on the student route. So if it's a 12 months or less, full duration of the course. If it's a longer than 12 months, it must be the last 12 months in the UK. And then we have, as I referred to earlier, I won't go back through the dates, these coronavirus concessions effectively, where you're giving time to enter the UK by 21st June 2021 or 27th September 2021. Let's skip then to the period and conditions of a grant as a graduate. So 3 years if you're PhD or other doctoral qualification, otherwise it's 2 years, no access to public funds, but you can work, say if you can't do work as a professional sportsman, you can be self-employed or do voluntary work. Here's the study bit, but it can't be, again, used as a student extension. And then dependents. So the validity requirements for the dependents, dependent partner or dependent children can apply, must be in the UK and have been last granted effectively as the dependent of the lead applicant. So have a look at that. There's suitability for dependents, and obviously eligibility in terms of relationship requirements for a partner and relationship requirements for a dependent child. Dependent child means under the age of 18 at the date of application. If you're 16 or over, you mustn't be leading an independent life. And again, here's the period of grant. So that is the new skilled worker route. We have Appendix Graduate. We can see it's quite a generous provision, providing 2 or maybe 3 years if you've got a doctorate, with no real restrictions on your work activities. So it's a really good route. It's going to affect a big number of people. So if you're a student or you represent students in the United Kingdom, something worth looking to, have a look at Appendix Graduate, which sets out the requirements ready for the applications, which will be open from July 2021. So I hope that's helpful. I'll put the links below the video.